Doobie-doobie-doo, doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. Hmm? Hmm?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
There we are. Helps if I have the mic on. I was so excited then. Apologies. What I was saying, of course, was yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Konbanwa, arigato gozaimasu. Yes, we are back for another exciting Stadia Monday night chat. Of course, I'm obligated to say that. I'm Clive Illenden, your host. So join me as we take a look at all the news, games, chat, gossip, everything about Stadia this week. I hope you're well. Say hello in the chat. Let me know what games you've been playing, anything you think we ought to be discussing that I don't cover, anything you'd like to ask Stadia-wise, and we can chat about that in the chat section. But before all that, ladies and gentlemen, before all that, how about a fun fact? Fun fact. Did you know the Dreamcast lasted 16 months from launch to when Sega declared it dead? They declared they were no longer manufacturing any more Dreamcast. It was dead. So just by the by my reckoning, the dead on arrival Stadia has so far outlasted the Sega Dreamcast. So just putting out there, well done, Stadia. Well done. Well done. Well done for doing that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, also, if you are not aware, I became the winner of the first season of the Game Over Show. That's Ryzak at Gaming Ryzak is a content creator, and he has a show called The Game Over Show, which is a sort of a fun, entertaining quiz show all about Stadia. And last week was the grand final, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I was the season champ there, beating Dr. Spaceman Games in the final. It was so close. It went to a tiebreaker. Oh, it had all the drama of a penalty shootout. God, penalty shootouts. But this time, yay, England won for a change. It was so close. We were basically about one out. We had to sort of get closest to how many games had been released on Stadia. We were both wrong by 2 or 3, but yeah, we both, I said 187, Dr. Spaceman said 186 in a very tense final, but I won. So there we go. It's a great little show, and hats off to Ryzak. Not many people kind of watch it. Make sure you subscribe to it because it's a fun show. He's doing season 2 as well with Stadia Pro Gaming co-hosting, bigger and better. But there were a lot of rounds, lots of, there was Brian, from Nerf, the Nerf show, the Nerf report, sorry, Brian, went a bit dead there. He was on it, Meg was on it, Stadia Vet was on it twice, Dr. Spaceman Games was there. There were about 4 rounds until we got to the, 3 rounds before we got to the final. So 4 rounds we had to sort of get through. But a lot of fun. So if you missed it, check it out. Check it out. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, that's enough of blowing my own trumpet. That's what she said. Back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the show. Let's say hello to all of you lovely, lovely people, because already, as we can see, Roger was first. Yeah, straight in there. Quick hello to everybody. Alex was, of course, Alex Billy was second. Just to prove it there. Well done. Pedder Games, good evening, sir. How are you? Crow Resine, of course. Lloyd was 1,337th. You put third there. Most confusing numbers there. Cloud Gaming Dad there. Thank you. Yes, the Cloud Gaming Dad. Look, all in emojis. Clever. In lead. Or is it in lead? Don't know. We'll be coming on a fantastic initiative by in lead. later in the show. So check out for that if you haven't seen it already. Roger, of course. Mike, lovely to see you. Halusko, Skoo. I'm sorry for butchering your name every week. Hello, sir. J. Key. Mustard S. Hello, sir. Lord Vivek. Ready, set, play. Hello in chat. MM2K, Clive. Us alive. I think you mean is alive. He's fumbling over the words. You had one chance. Yeah. Cloudbusters. Yes, I have to say, Far Cry is really good fun. I shall be touching on that, sir. Touching on that later. Vet Cloud Gaming, of course. Yoshida, yes, of course. Well done to Japan. Coming third in the medal table. Well done to the US as well, and China. And the Pluggy Brits coming fourth or fifth, I can't remember. Fourth, yes, fourth. Well done, but well done. Great Olympics there by Tokyo. All good. And now your mama knows. Yeah, exactly. All of these great players was on that show. Anthony, lovely to see you there. And Marcus G9. I think that's it. I think we've kind of caught up with chat. Thank you, everybody, for coming in so early and joining us live. It's always appreciated. Gives the show that little extra oomph that the 400 odd people who don't catch it live catch up during the week. This show is getting some nice views over the week, which is quite interesting. Could be the thumbnails, don't know. Could be the content, who knows. Anyway, games I've been playing, obviously a bit of Grime. The Grime is sort of my game and it's not sort of my game. It can be very frustrating, that kind of all or nothing kind of, if you don't get through the level, you go right back to the beginning. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but visually, what a feast. A feast for the eyes. It's like a sort of a Dali-esque, slightly dark, Dali-esque body parts, kind of surreal painting. It looks brilliant. And I'm playing it on my 4K TV. And just, yeah, it looks great. Plays great. Just weird. Very surreal and dark. But at the end, but the heart of it, as I say, very fundamental gaming mechanics, but just done in a really clever, imaginative way. I know some people absolutely love those sort of games and raving about it, but I've given it a go. I'll go back and do a bit more, but I must admit my time has been taken up by Far Cry 5. Now, even though I've already have access to it, thanks to Ubisoft Plus, it was the free weekend that I thought, well, I'll give it a go, even though it's not, the free weekend's of no benefit to me because I already have it, but I'd never played it before. Have you played it? Was it your first time? Thanks to the free weekend. Let me know in the chat. But I've been playing loads. Oh my God. Got a little, what am I doing here? I'm just going to call up a little picture there. There we go. Yeah, so I've been playing loads of Far Cry 5. It's a great game. There's so much to it. It's a great story, well done, but just great fun as well. A good story game, there should be moments in which you feel empowered as a gamer. You have those real kind of cinematic gaming moments when you, I don't know, blow up a tanker or you take a helicopter out of the sky. My son, he said, every time I walk past, Dad, you seem to be blowing a helicopter up out of the sky. And there's those real satisfying moments. And then there's like loads of weird side tasks as well. It's such a good game and just so enjoyable. As I say, there's so much you can do, which I really love. And you can get lost in those side missions. There's real fun bits when you're flying helicopters, flying planes. I hate flying in games. My yoke, I get my yoke muddled up, whatever, my up from my down. Yeah, it's all sort of counterintuitive to me. After you've been playing like a third person character and you've been pushing them around with the sticks and then you jump into an aeroplane and you sort of have to push down to go up and up to go down, and it's like, or whatever it's all and so it takes a real concentration to suddenly jump from playing a first person character to then flying a plane. And there's a bit where you have to fly plane through hoops like Pilot Wings. Who remembers Pilot Wings? That Nintendo game. Great game that was. I think it was called Pilot Wings. Anyway, but you say you can get to drive trucks, blow up tankers, loads of real fun stuff, but with one hell of a creepy family of characters, with the Joseph Seed and his family. Brilliantly acted and captured. That's a great thing about Far Cry games. The capture for the cinematics looks really good. It's pretty consistent on all the parts. And oh my God, they're hell creepy. Those characters, a bit like Resident Evil to a certain degree, but just there's something claustrophobic about them. And that really helps in a game because it makes you want to really fudge them up. You just can't wait to get to the denouement. You really want to give them a good beating. It brings out the nastiness of you. But that's a credit to their acting and all of that kind of stuff, and the characterization. I absolutely love it. As I say, a great sign. Any good story needs a good villain, and Joseph Seed is a great villain, and his siblings and everybody. Genuinely creepy. Especially when you get captured by them. Oh my God. There's a bit where you think, I got shot again. Oh, never mind. But actually it's all part of the gameplay, and you get captured, and it's really creepy because you think, oh my God, I'm going to get tortured. I don't want this to happen. But I have to say, one of my favorite and standout moments is in a side mission involved. I don't want to spoil it, but it involves getting a certain, I think it's a Tex-Mex delicacy. Yeah? I'm not sure of my cooking or whatever, but I think it's a Tex-Mex delicacy from the, let's say, tender parts of a bull. And you have to acquire these tender parts of the bull. But one of the ones you have to acquire has to be at a key moment in the bull's life, as it were. As my son likes to say, when it's fun time for cows, you then have to acquire these tender parts from the bull. And the thing is, I was thinking, well, how am I going to just wander across cows having fun time? How will I know I'm near cows having fun time? Well, trust me, people, you will know when the moment is upon you, because a certain music track kicks in, and those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. But it made me laugh out loud. If you wonder what on earth I'm going on about, never mind. Just play Far Cry 5. But if you know what I'm talking about, you're having to help out a chef get a certain delicacy, which is popular in Mexico and Texas, as I understand. And one of them you have to get at a key moment in cow fun time, put it that way. But the music that kicks in is hilarious. Anyway, so there was that. And then I squadded up as well. I squadded up with some content creators in the community for a bit of Rainbow Six Siege containment. Yeah, it's the containment. I get muddled up. Anyway, that's kind of fun. I prefer playing people against people as it goes people against kind of weird aliens who can slash you in one hit. We weren't that successful, but we had a lot of fun. So it is, a lot of fun squadding up. So there are going to be more squadding up in the near future as well. So looking forward to that. Also, I dipped into a bit of It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains, a fun, mindless distraction. Again, very frustrating. You have to go back quite far each time before you get to sort of a save point. But it's a lot of fun, pretty mindless. Just sit there, pow, 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 shooting away, and the aliens just increase infinitely almost anyway. Anyway, as I said, put what you've been playing in the chat, and we'll have a look at that later, but it's really cool. it has multiplayer co-op and deathmatch. Well, on Far Cry, I noticed that, and some live events as well. So they're still servicing Far Cry 5, and I must admit, I'm really looking forward to Far Cry 6 now. I'd never played a Far Cry game properly, but I'm loving it. Really having a lot of fun in it. So I'm definitely straight in Far Cry 6 when that comes out. Definitely. Anyway, ladies and people will do. That covers it. To the news, ladies and gentlemen, to the news. Okay. It's quite a quiet week, but then, you know, we'll come to that later, actually, because there's lots going on. We just get lulled into a sense of security. But, you know, the Stadia community blog lives on, as it were. So obviously Grime we touched upon, and Far Cry 5 available for pro subscribers, of course. Loads of us playing it, and as I say, absolutely great. It's come to an end now. What's the time? Yeah, come to an end now. A lot of fun. Valkyrie 4, I nearly started playing that this evening, but it was about half an hour before the show, or before I get ready for the show, and I thought I need to give it more quality time. So probably going to have a deep dive into that. May even get Lord Kensal to stream Valkyria 4 Chronicles 4. It came from outer space and ate our brains, as I said, a lot of fun. And I haven't dipped into Epistory yet. Heard a lot of good things about that, so very good. Killer Queen Black. Now, I already have this, thanks to Cloud Gaming Dad, I think it was. Shout out to Cloud Gaming Dad. Make sure you subscribe. So I may need help, if you're out there, to sort of guide me through it, because I'm a bit put off because it seems quite complicated. And there's Grime. Also, of course, we talked about it last week, but the Google TV package. Pick the color of your Chromecast with Google TV. I have that lovely sky one, the sky blue one, and the Stadia controller color, and throw in Ethernet adapter, and you're all good. 100 quid if you've got you want the Ethernet adapter. 90 quid. Save 30 quid in UK money there. So all good. So that was it on the news. Not loads of news, but that's okay, because what we're going to talk about here is some of the games, ladies and gentlemen, some of the games that we've actually know that we've got coming over the next few weeks. Yeah. So, for starters, ladies and gentlemen, for starters, why have I got that photo there? Just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh yeah, no, that's it. We've done that. The news. Okay, so of course, this week, ladies and gentlemen, very excited about this. Foreclosed is coming. I was trying to explain to my son, because he says, "Oh, is it an RPG?" And I said, "Well, it's a sort of first-person shooter. Well, third-person shooter." And what I'm curious about is the split screen. Whether they've just done the split screen for the trailer, or whether it features as part of the game. But I love the style, that whole graphic novel, comic book style. And I'm hoping that the split screen is part of the gameplay and the game style. So most interested in that. Just back to Far Cry. Lloyd says it's peak Ubisoft. Yeah, there's so much to do. But I'm not bored. I don't get over... well, if anything, I get sidetracked by the side missions because I just want to help everybody. Hey, Predator, how are you, sir? Good. Lloyd says he thinks Foreclose has the visual novel parts. I hope so. I quite like that sort of split screen, the sort of the comic book panels. I hope they sort of feature to a certain degree in the gameplay. It would be really good, but it looks awesome. I hope it plays awesome. It's on every platform, as you can see there. But, of course, including Switch. I don't say that disdainfully. I'm just saying. August the 12th. So 3 days. Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. I think that could be a purchase. A day one purchase for me. Let me know in the chat whether there's going to be a day one purchase for you. But I'm curious about it. Maybe I'll wait and see. We'll wait for John Scar's Gaming to review it or something like that, and then we'll check it. Yeah, then we'll check it out. Anyway, so that is only this week. So that's a pretty big game. Big, well, not a massive game, but an anticipated game across a number of titles, of course. And then the following week, not long after that, ladies and gentlemen, we have, of course, quite an anticipated game, not just on... I'm going to stop that there a minute as well, actually. And just, oh, no, I'll show you later. So this is coming out on the 17th of August. And it is, of course, Humankind, a sort of civilization, as it were, for those PC gamers who love a bit of civilization. Interesting enough, this is releasing to Xbox Games Pass on day one. So kudos to Xbox Game Pass. They've gone in there and they've gone and flashed the money to get it as a Game Pass title. Interesting to see if it comes to Pro. I can't see necessarily it coming to Pro for a while if Xbox have gone in and secured the sort of exclusive rights to subscription, this exclusive subscription rights. One thing I just wanted to stop and feature here is, look, a Sega game, ladies and gentlemen. Something that may be overlooked. Yeah, it's a Sega game from Sega. I think it's one of their sort of subsidiaries, I think, publishing it. But just interesting to note, that was a question on the Game Over show, which titles have been released by Sega. And I couldn't remember the third one. And I said Tokyo Games, Judgment, and it's actually Valkyria. I did say Football Manager, but that wasn't one of the answers. I think it is an answer. But it was actually Valkyria Chronicles 4 is also by Sega. But interesting enough, Humankind also by Sega. So there we are. Publisher, big publisher, continuing to support Stadia, blah-de-blah-de-blah. That's all I'm saying on that one. Quite interesting. Anyway, that's out next week, ladies and gentlemen. So look out for that one. So Foreclose this week. Humankind, which I know is a much anticipated. I'm not sure it's my cup of tea. I'm not a great kind of strategy, civilization. It's nerdy PC gaming territory, and that's not me. I'm a console, third person, first person sort of story driven action sort of console player with a bit of platforming thrown in now and then. That's sort of me. When it comes to gaming, although I like to try lots of things, I might give it a go. But I know there are some massive fans of that type of civilization game. They're sadly lacking on Stadia, so hopefully it will scratch an itch. I know, so hopefully it will scratch an itch for some people, some PC players who are looking for something like Civilization to play on Stadia and things like that. So that's, it's quite interesting on that one. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I talked about big games people games anticipated, like Foreclosed and Humankind. But of course, the biggest game, probably one of the biggest games of the year, is, of course, Madden. Madden 22 coming to Stadia, people. Yeah. Perhaps the biggest game of August. Available to pre-order, isn't it, already? Yeah, so it's available to pre-order. You haven't got it. I'm sure a lot of Madden 22 fans will have got it. Now, we know that Madden 21 looked really good on Stadia. So I wonder if there's any kind of improvements, or they've sort of just probably kept it the same. I hope there are some improvements. We know with FIFA there are some significant improvements. Don't know whether in the visual quality there is, but we certainly know with hypermotion, there's also some extra elements that were reported recently about Stadia, about FIFA 22, which is exclusive to next-gen consoles and Stadia only. We're not getting any next-gen features specifically for the next-gen and Stadia on Madden, as far as I'm aware. Not that we've been told of, but on FIFA we are. But anyway, so Madden 22 coming out. When's it coming out? 20th of August, ladies and gentlemen. Madden 22 coming out on the 20th of August. So, yes, on FIFA, there is some extra reactions. I've forgotten what it is, but there's some extra crowd reactions or something if your players do something. And extra scenes in the changing rooms. Ooh. Based on if you're doing career mode, how your character has performed and stuff like that, and extra kind of elements. But there are some elements, I think, to do with the crowd reactions and things like that, which are specific to next gen. So that's another next gen reveal. So PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Stadia only. Not only the hypermotion, but some of these other elements. And I think there's some more announcements to come. I think. Reading the runes. Don't hold me to it, but I think we're going to hear some more stuff about FIFA. But we're not talking about FIFA. We're talking about the funny shaped ball. That is Madden 22 coming on the 20th of August. So the next 3 weeks, some pretty good, interesting, and massive games are coming along. Let me know which one of those are you most anticipating, waiting for. No Stadia logo for Madden. Don't worry about that, Pedro. I think it's for pre-order anyway. It's on the store, isn't it? So it's coming. It's coming. I'm sure it is. Don't worry about that. Not in this particular. Don't think any logos on this one. There's no logo on that one. Don't worry about it. It's just generic trailer. There's no game logos on this trailer, as I can see. But anyway, was there a football game that had a streaker on the pitch? Oh God, them were the days. In the UK, there's this classic. I remember it was a classic photograph in the 70s or the 80s. I don't know if it's football or cricket. I think it's football. And there's a streaker, and a copper a policeman is escorting him across the off the pitch, and he's used his police helmet over the streaker's privates there. The classic 70s or 80s sort of peak of football hooliganism picture. It's also one I remember of a Leeds United support with a dart in his nose that some Man United player chucked. Oh, the good old days of 1970s football hooliganism, hey? Anyway, there you go. That would be interesting if you got streakers on FIFA 22. Next gen only. You heard it from me. Yeah. Next gen only. FIFA 22 features streakers. Yeah, we don't know exactly. Fair enough, Peter. We don't. Yeah, we don't know if there's any extra sort of special features. We know the next gen's got, I think, it's 4K and maybe some sort of improved frames per second. I don't know, but it looked pretty good. Madden 21 looked pretty amazing on Stadia anyway, so can't complain as far as I'm concerned. Pretty happy about that. But as I say, a big lot of games really coming. Michelle Parks' Judgment. That was it. Yeah, that was the I got Judgment and Tokyo Games. I couldn't think Valkyria because I haven't played it. If I played it, it would have popped up. Anyway, there we go. Stadia, Madden specifically announced for Stadia. Yeah, we were just wondering whether there's any special features. Like we know there are special features for FIFA 22, so that's the game things. Anyway, in other game news, ladies and gentlemen, so those are the big games we know are coming. But in other big game news, it looks like we've also got a launch date for Merrick's Market. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Merrick's Market. So this looks like a sort of a fun... I heard Lloyd describe it as, what's that cooking game? Brain's gone dead again. Mama's cooking show, whatever it is. Anyway, a bit like that. Buying and selling, make things, sell them quickly. Probably more and more customers coming, quicker and quicker, etc., etc. Anyway, Merrick's Market opens for business September the 15th, ladies and gentlemen. So next month is coming. Maybe I'm thinking of something else when it comes to Madden. Maybe because FIFA was up there. Anyway. But anyway, there we are. Merrick's Market open for business. It's just what is going on there. It's described as a chaotic crafting game about running a medieval shop. I think you can see that, ladies and gentlemen. We've all been the one buying weapons and armor from a shop in many a game. But what is it like, ladies and gentlemen, to run one? What is it like to run one? Strange customers, yes. Over-the-top crafting challenges, you bet. A shop cat, of course. Absolutely. Take ownership of Merrick's Market as you haggle, barter, and craft your way through a comical single-player game, single-player, or team up with friends to supply the whole town, ladies and gentlemen. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is coming out September the 15th. Back to Madden. It's my understanding we won't be getting the features on Madden and Xbox PC current gen consoles will have. Yeah, as I understand it, the only features that I think Madden 22 kind of has are slightly enhanced graphics. We get pretty good graphics, as I said, but I don't think there are any extra special features beyond that, really. Not that I'm aware of. Anyway, Overcooked. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Of course, Madden special features, no downloads. Thank you. No queuing, no playtime limits. Of course. Merrick's Market. Of course, that looks fun. Something both me and my son will love, I think. Yeah. I think, I don't know if it's co-op. I'm assuming it's co-op. But yeah, just as in Overcooked, a lot of chaos and fun. So yeah, definitely one to look out for there. In other game news, we've got a few DLC and extra content. So this is from courtesy of Stadia Source, mentioned this here. This is some new DLC for Zombie Army 4. Here, this is a playthrough. It's not a trailer for it. called Return to Hell. It's got a real, there's a voiceover going over here. If I just play it, you'll hear. It's got a sort of a bit of a Doom Eternal feel to it with that voiceover going on. Anyway, it's out now. The third and final mission in Return to Hell, a haunting 3-part Zombie 4 Dead War campaign, available in Season Pass 3 or available individually if you're looking for some extra DLC for Zombie Army 4. I need to go back to that. I have a lot of fun playing that game. I need to keep going through the campaign. Too many games keep distracting me. Keep getting distracted by all the blooming games. Anyway, so that's it. DLC is already available if you're interested in that. It's such a good game. I forgot all about that. Definitely need to go back to that game as well. In other updates, this is courtesy of Stadia Source. Ember gets an update. Again, Ember's another great sort of fun sort of family game. But there's a new update for Ember. This is courtesy of Stadia Source here. District 3 update for Ember releases on Stadia. Now live on Google Stadia. The District 3 update. New content. New Upper North Side District with 5 new levels. Mystery Manors. Experience the grand clockwork centerpiece of this picturesque manor built and previously owned by a mysterious novelist. Yachtster, rent a yacht. Enjoy a scenic cruise along an artificially created glacial corridor right here in the city. Don't forget to turn off engine and enjoy the views. Crab and Go Craw Club. Only the most upscale diners invited to the Claw Club. Okay. Rockside Resort. Mysterious signal from Ember HQ. And some new features. Co-default mission types. Some District 1 levels will start with a choice between rescue and a mission type for first-time players. 13 new achievements if you're an achievement hunter. Salvage missions added in. And loads of sort of lifestyle... not lifestyle, but loads of extra bugs, fixes and changes there as well. And that is all live if you are an Ember member already playing now live. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one thing I want to touch on. So lots going on as ever. Lots going on there. Yeah, they are. I do like their games. Strange Brigade and all of that. Very good. Sniper Elite. A great series as the Sniper Elite games, yeah. I love the bit in Red Dead Redemption 2 and you have those Sniper Elite moments where it goes in slow motion. Doesn't quite go X-ray through the... you don't get an X-ray of the bullet going through somebody's brain, but yeah. Definitely a lot of fun. Right, one thing I want to touch on, ladies and gentlemen, is there is a Stadia initiative, and I'd like you all to participate if you can. We're a cult. It's not a cult. So, on Metacritic, it, as I understand it, it automatically lists video games that anyone can go in and review. So it automatically lists Stadia versions of those games as well. Has a sort of separate listing for the Stadia games. However, there are not many Stadia games reviewed on Metacritic. So there is an initiative here, courtesy of InLead. I told you I'd give him a shout out, ladies and gentlemen. I told you I'd give him a shout out. InLead. There is this initiative here where the idea is to go to Metacritic and just review your Stadia games. You don't have to review them all. Just review ones that you've played. Be honest. Just, say how you felt about it. Say how you feel about the games. That's all you got to do. Each game needs at least 4 ratings to get a user score. Now, this initiative started yesterday, and already, I think, nearly 100 games. I'll read you the letter, the background to it, and then I'll leave a link as well. Let me just... Let's just read the letter here. Right. So, an exciting community initiative to start rating all the games on Stadia on Metacritic. So cloud gaming is still often misunderstood, misrepresented, or simply ignored by large parts of the public. Tell me about it. The gaming press and developers. The reason for this are usually assumed to be associated with small player bases and allegedly worse gaming experience compared to traditional gaming platforms. So we want to take a proactive step to address this dilemma. The website Metacritic.com represents one of the largest rating databases for movies, music, and games. It even features a separate rating scheme for games that are playable on Google's cloud streaming service Stadia. Unfortunately, only a fraction of these Stadia games have been reviewed by critics or rated by users. So, together with you people, yeah, all of you and the cloud gaming community, our goal is to rate every single game on Stadia. Woo, Pedder, thank you there for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, sir. Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu. So together with the cloud gaming community, we want to rate every Stadia game on there. There are approximately 130 Stadia games in the database that do not have a user score yet. You need 4 user ratings for each game in order for them to create an average. In lead. Yeah, exactly. Is it in lead or in lead? I don't know. I'm going for in lead. Don't rate the games better than they are. Don't rate them worse than they are either. Just be honest. It's a book I used to read to my son when he was a little kid. Pop-up book. And every line at the end was like, just like that. So I used to do it in a slight Michael Caine accent to him. I used to go, just like that. And so he's here, he's put in his letter here, don't rate them worse either. Just be honest. So let's give the world an objective, analytical and data-driven insight into our experience with the games in the cloud. So all you need to do is participate. I'll leave a link in the chat. Save it for later. It's gone there. And already, if we have a look here, this was after 24 hours. So this was earlier in the day. This was about 6 hours ago. Now, in lead, of course, is so if you're not aware of what InLead does, he does a database which lists every Stadia Pro game, when it came out, how long it's been on for, what its average sort of review is, what its price is. So I instantly can go on there and see that roughly the approximate value of every pro game you could have claimed from day one on Stadia approximates out to about $2,400 worth of value. And each game is worth approximately $24 a game. And you get 3 or 4 a month. That's the value you're getting each month. Anyway, he has this database which rates all that. And now his database is feeding in the information from Metacritic. And earlier, as I say, earlier today, it's more than this now because he did post another tweet. Earlier today, already games with user scores at 151. So absolutely going gangbusters. Can we reach 100? Yeah, look, already we're getting a few. I'm just seeing we're getting a few Reviews already. I think we are getting a few reviews added in there already. Why won't that expand? There we are. Look, A Place for the Unwilling. So not like a massively well-known game. It's already got a user score there. This is the version on Stadia. So already, great work. 6.6. We all going to average out at 6.6. 6. Oh, Ari and the Secret Seasons. Never did finish that game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey 7.8. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Get involved. As I say, it's doing really, really well so far. As I say, that thing I looked at earlier, this was from quite a while ago. This was in about lunchtime or just after lunchtime. And I did see another tweet. Sort by user score, he says. Oh, I've jumped now. He's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's have a look. Go to new releases. New releases. Sort by user score. Wow. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Loads. East 9, Monstrum Nox is up there. Wow. How the hell did Art get on there? Yeah, lol. Very good. Control Ultimate Edition 8.6. Way up there. Grime. Straight in. I should be doing like a chart. Ladies and gentlemen. Straight in at number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Just released this week is Grime with 8.4. And I will destroy, absorb, and grow, ladies and gentlemen. And an early pacer from last week, down one this week. It's One Piece World Seeker, etc., etc. But anyway, great idea, ladies and gentlemen. Super, super idea. Get on there. Get it sorted. Lord Vivexes, I can't find Doom 2016 on the Stadia filters. Oh, let's have a quick look. Doom, PS4, Switch, games. Click on games. Can you sort? Can you sort by Stadia? Yeah, it's not listed as Stadia. And there, look, there's the irony. Dreamcast. Where am I? Xbox, PC, PlayStation. Interesting. That might need updating. That's weird. Which is exactly why, ladies and gentlemen, exactly why we need to get the games rated on Metacritic. But the key thing, anyway, remember, don't make it up. Be honest. Just go in your favorite games, write about them, all of those things. As Cloudbuster says, it's just called Doom. Yeah. Thanks, Cloudbusters. But anyway, it's a good, the good community of Stadia can help the platform grow. So definitely get in there, ladies and gentlemen. Get rating. I applaud the work of InLead, and all of that. So, arigato gozaimasu to you. Let's support it. I think it's a great idea. Oh, news just in. Oh, we've got a report straight from the man himself. We have over 3,700 ratings since yesterday. Wow. More than 3,700. Second that, Lloyd. Absolutely. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So get on there if you haven't partaken. As I say, the link is in the chat there. Definitely. Yeah, well done. Keep going. Get it all over Reddit. Definitely. Let's have a look at the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's happy. He's happy. No, great work, sir. Great work. Yeah, exactly. How did Art get on there? Yeah, juggling 10 games or so, mate. Yeah. Yeah, well, Lord Kensal still haven't quite finished Red Dead Redemption 2. There's some games you feel like you need a run up to or a break from one game before you go into a similar style of game. But, you know, it's credit to Stadia that there are so many choices. Oh, I think I missed out on it. Sorry, Anthony. I know you said I should get it. Is it not in the sale anymore? Oh, my dear. Oh, my Lord. It'll be in the sale again. Should have done that. Big thank you to all the content creators who've got me through this summer, this Stadia summer, Clive included. Thank you, Michelle. You are welcome. I'm glad that we have proved informative and entertaining and all of that. So there we go. Wolock, sir, lovely to see you. I am good. Thank you. Thank you. The ever friendly and supportive Wolock, always supporting people in Twitter and on YouTube, many content creators and all of that. Oh, some background from Lloyd here. That's it. Yeah, the AI and machine learning driven animations. They capture over 4,000 animations and the game can intelligently create new ones based on the action. That's the hypermotion stuff, isn't it? But there's some other stuff going on in the crowd. The crowd can react in different ways and animations as well. So I think as well, it's an added layer to it. That's it. Thank you. If you start to lose badly, the crowd start to leave the game early. Ooh, judgmental. Bit judgmental there. That was it. It's Stewie Football Family Guy. Exactly. You're going to see that feature a lot. Yeah. Especially in my games. Yeah, absolutely. Spot on. Spot on. As much as this is good news, I did sigh when GFN announced something stupid like another 30 games this month or week or something. Mike, I get a sense, there's no disrespect to you, Mike. You worry too much, my son. Dear sir, I think you worry too much about things. Just enjoy the games you have on Stadia. GFN's a very different kettle of fish. You know, it's a virtual PC in the cloud. And there are significantly more PC games than console type games. And the question is how many, you know, it's like being a super billionaire. Exactly how much do you need to stop caring? And you've got so much money that it's irrelevant. You know, there comes a point, and there's a bit with games. There is a limited amount of time. And the great thing about Stadia is it's quite a curated library because they don't have that luxury of being able to just sort of tip a bucket of, I'm being a bit disrespectful, but just tip a bucket of PC games. There you go. No, you want some more PC games? There you go. Just wade through some of those. You know, it's a bit more selective, but there's still plenty to keep you occupied. You know, there are noticeable omissions. We know that on Stadia. No one's denying that, you know. It would be great. I responded to somebody on incoming. I responded to something on Reddit about it, and I was saying, you know, of course there are some obvious omissions on Stadia platform. Of course there are. We'd be foolish to deny it. It's not perfect. Of course, it'd be great to have, you know, a Call of Duty, just from even if you don't like the game, just from a credibility point of view, or you know, a Battlefield or something like that. But generally, most of the big AAA games have arrived. It would be good to get more transparency on more AAA games down the line, other than Ubisoft. Of course it would. But there is plenty to be going. Lots of interesting games. If you're a gamer, there's things that you can dip in and try that are interesting, that are award winners. A lot of the indie games that we get, a lot of the indie games in Pro are award-winning games and stuff like that. So, just enjoy them. That's what I'd say. As I say, GFN, no knocking it. It's not my cup of tea. But I know there are PC gamers out there who have a massive Steam library. Love all of that. Love all those PC games. My son is one, for example, plays weird PC games now and then. Glorified things that look like rip-offs of Minecraft or Roblox and things like that. But he just loves those silly games. And at the same time, he also loves, Counter-Strike and Valorant and stuff like that. So, if you love exploring PC games, then GeForce Now is lap it up. That's what it is for. But otherwise, with Stadia, there's plenty to keep going. Any more, it gets ridiculous, As long as they keep up with things, that's the thing. I did not. I decided not to because it was a PC-only trial. And I don't like polluting my computer with PC games. I'll leave that to my son, who loves polluting my PC with PC games. Hence why I'm going to get another PC so I can give him this one, donate this one to him, lucky boy. And then I can have one that is clean of PC games. Not that I'm a snob or anything, but I just I like my PC for content creation, not for Counter-Strike and countless weird Minecraft spin-offs. Playing through 10 games at once, you probably have to manage HD space on a console to do that. That's the thing. That's I tell you what, that's the drawback of Stadia, ladies and gentlemen. It's because all the games are there on a plate for you. It's not as though you have to sort of focus with your console. You have to sort of focus on maybe 5 or 6 massive games at any one time and then have that decision to go, oh, which one shall I delete? Which one shall I get rid of? Even with Games Pass, you have to make decisions. Oh, I fancy trying that. Oh, which one shall I get rid of now? Okay, I'll get rid of that and I'll replace it with that. That's what I used to do with Games Pass. And now I've got Stadia. The idea of doing that is tedious. If you're in the mood for an impulse game, you just want to jump in and do it. And with Stadia, even if you don't own the game, you can still satisfy that impulse almost instantly and be playing a game that you bought within 30 seconds. And it's quite hard to go back once you've had that kind of experience, especially when the experience is as I say, is console-like for me. I don't ever sort of miss playing on my Xbox. I don't mean Lord Kensal, no, exactly. No, well, of course, he's well and truly stuck in Red Dead Redemption 2. Not stuck, but engrossed in Red Dead Redemption 2. Ah, yes, they've got with Alex, what's her name? The BBC commentator is doing some of the behind the scenes pre-match commentary on FIFA as well. Happy Cloud Gamer there with the ever cheerful analysis there. Yes, all the scores into weighted average. Weighting may not accurately represent the general consensus. True, but it's a good guide. And the more reviews there are, the more consistent it's going to be, or the more reliable, I would say. Like anything, I never go by one review. If I'm going to see a movie or whatever, I'll take a gamut of reviews from reviewers I respect and just get a sense of the general word in the street about a movie. And then I might see it. If I'm in two doubts, if I want to see it, I ignore the critics if I'm really, mad to see a film or whatever. Same with anything, theatre, a game. But if I'm not sure, then I'll take, a sort of sample of reviews from critics that I respect or have respected before or concurred with before to give me a guide of what the general feeling about something is. So yeah, the more, that's all right, son. But the thing about Metacritic, the more the merrier. Yeah. I think a bit, maybe more so. They sort of rushed to build up the library a bit, but also they don't really have much of the choice. Really, they're still at that sort of going through the buying process, even though we know they've bought up and done the deals for most of this year. Few things might come in at last minute, but generally we know this year is well and truly put to bed. So there's loads of things we don't know, deals that we don't know about that have been done for this year. So lots of exciting things to come. Still got to hit that 100+ games this year. And we know they're well into bedding down next year as well. So all good. Yeah, that's the thing about Victor, isn't it? Stadia, they're always there. Whatever, I'm just in the mood. You can flick through and just go, oh, I'll give that a go. You're not like, oh, I'm waiting down, whatever. That's the sort of the simplistic view that I take, Roger, and kind of just to make it easy for people to understand. It's not quite that. I think Stadia is more than just a console. It's a kind of complete platform. But I think it's a great little elevator pitch to describe cloud gaming to people. I think GFN is, a gaming PC in the sky. Stadia is a platform console in the sky, and that's how I always sort of frame it and whatever. Yeah, similar traditional model. The games have to be ported specifically for that. It has its own kind of architecture, so it's not shared architecture, just like Xbox, just like PlayStation and stuff like that, which means that the architecture is built specifically for gaming. A PC, the chips aren't built necessarily specifically for gaming. But with a console, the reason they can make that work is that they can tailor the chips to respond to the sort of gaming requirements in a very specific way and sort of save on some space and stuff like that. And I think probably in a console way, Stadia has a sort of similar model. Stadia gets some PC exclusives as well as Humankind, so it's not. Well, no, that's the thing. I mean, it's more a platform because it can bridge that gap. Sometimes it's in the Venn diagram. It has those PC exclusives. Plus, sometimes with crossplay, we're cross-playing with PC gamers in one. So in Destiny 2, I think we're going to be cross-playing with PC players. In Division 2, we cross-play with PC players. In PUBG, we cross-play with console players. So in the Venn diagram of games, it kind of sort of stand between the two. Yeah, it's just because the sheer shovelware. I mean, a bit, it's just the sheer number of games that are available for PC, and they're ready to go really on GFN. It's just GFN's ideal scenario was that there would never be a publisher issue, and they would just make the games available. They, of course, then ran into a rights issue, which I don't think they foresaw. In the beta version of GFN, like any PC game virtually was playable on GFN. It was only when the publishers thought, wait a minute, you're making money from us in a way that we hadn't envisioned. Wait a minute, there's something fishy about this, and started withdrawing and forcing GFN to do deals with them. But I don't think that was NVIDIA's original plan. I think they just thought, we'll just create a gaming PC in the sky, and anybody who buys a game on Steam or whatever can just play it in their virtual gaming PC. What a brilliant idea. It didn't quite work out like that, but they're working hard on the publishers and stuff like that. So there we go. Yay, colour. I'm still, you'll be pleased to know, I'm some way off being a millionaire on Red Dead Redemption 2. Still haven't quite ended the story campaign, but, well, Lord Kensal hasn't, but he's there. He's nearly there. He's just bracing himself, so. Stadia Revolution in the house. Yeah, people all argue up and down saying I was wrong. In simple terms, it's a console, but as I say, it's a bit more than that. It's a platform. There's more to come from it. I think that's the key thing. It's got tools and stuff like that. A cloud platform. Good way of putting it, sir. A good way of putting it. Summer's always a bit slow. Of course, people have their holidays. It's holiday season. Same at work. At my work, I work in the TV, so I work in the entertainment business. TV ratings, pardon the Olympics, sport, like the Olympics or, Euros or World Cups or whatever, save the ratings in the summer. No show, no channel puts on its big shows over the summer, really. September is the season. And maybe gaming reflects that a little bit too. People have their holidays, so there we are. Exactly, Roger. That's what makes it easy. Victor, my main gripe is they're backing off some of the premium features. Only 13 games of native 4K 60 frames per second. I thought there were, somebody told me there was more than that. Are you talking native 4K? To be honest, I don't really care about the native 4K. I don't question it. I just say, does it look good on my 4K TV? Because your 4K TV can look different. One person's OLED is going to look a lot better than my 5-year-old Samsung 4K TV that doesn't have HDR. When I get a new LG TV, 4K, OLED, HDR, the games with a slightly faster processor in the TV, the games are going to look even better. So I'm not too fussed about that. And ultimately it is down to the publishers to eke out the, every pixel and stuff like that. And over time, like with any console, as developers and publishers get the hang of it, you'll see improved visuals. Plus, we know that we touched on it last week. The games improve in the background. This is a thing, and this is a concept that I think a lot of people will find it difficult to get their head around. How can games improve in the background without you doing anything? And we're going to see, and recently, over the last few weeks, it's interesting, there's been a pattern, but the sort of Stadia engineers have been sort of talking more and more about some of the background features, stuff going in the background of Stadia, the improvement of the compression tech and machine learning to improve the pipelines, the cache pipelines that we talked about last week in terms of getting the visuals to you quicker and reducing latency and even more, and how it's constantly learning. And the more people play, the better the games look. And there's loads of other stuff that we don't know about that's just going on in the background. And that's the great thing. And we know that, for instance, AMD and NVIDIA are working at, upscaling products within their chips using sort of software and stuff like that. So you don't have to, and hardware, so you don't have to do it within the game itself. That's going to be a big feature going forward. And we'll see that interlaced into the codec compression, the way games look and things like that. So yeah, I'm cool about it. Native versus upscale 48. Upscaling's cool if it's going to give you a better play. You can't really tell. I'm never going to stop in the middle of Doom Eternal, rush out, buy, a £3,000 computer, download Doom Eternal, put the screen next to my TV screen, get my magnifying glass out, compare and contrast, step back, sigh disappointingly and go, oh my God, it's slightly different. It's never going to happen. I'm not going to go out and buy a £500 Xbox Series X just to compare what it looks like on Stadia. I'm happy with Stadia because, as will majority of people, because the majority of people are gamers who have played on Xbox One. And the majority of gamers are people who have played on PlayStation 4. And the majority of games on Stadia look significantly better than coming from an Xbox One experience or coming from a PlayStation 4 experience. Are there better versions of the game potentially on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or on your £3,000 gaming rig? Marginally so, perhaps, yes. But not enough to spoil your enjoyment of a game if you're not going to play it on another platform anyway. So there we go. Not always, Michelle. Sometimes it will offer you up a 4K version, but it might be at 30 frames per second. And there are games, and there's plenty of people in chat who will tell you which games you should drop down to 1080p and get 60 frames per second. So it really depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for the frames per second, there are some games that look much better in 1080p because they just sort of move better in the frames per second and stuff. So there we go. Pro has many benefits, not just free games every month. Well, it also has the great sales as well, and the free play weekends and stuff like that. Those comparison videos of Cyberpunk, they were showing far off details like the wind. Well, exactly. They were forensic. Stop the game, freeze frame, move in. It's like one of those surveillance movies where they go, or CSI where they go, freeze frame, zoom in, computer, analyze, zoom in closer, computer, zoom in, look, there, can you see? And you think, well, I'm glad I paid 500 quid for that. No disrespect. I mean, if that's what you want and that's fine, and you have all the consoles and you're real nerd tech and you have all, then play it on whatever system gives you the best experience. The best system that gives me, the best experience is Stadia. Because that's what I want to play it on. I'm not playing it on my PC. I'm not playing it on my Xbox Series S. So, I think we're still in the best to test time. I think you're right, Happy Cloud Gamer. Yeah, you look at cloud gaming, movies. There was a point where the idea of them delivering 4K Ultra streaming to you seamlessly was a distant mountain for them to climb. Now you get the iPlayer plays in 4K. Netflix gives you 4K. Netflix, when they commission a TV series, it has to be in 4K, delivered in 4K. Yeah, you can't beat local, absolutely. Although console, Xbox, I can't feel a difference. I always, and I said it a million times on this show, November the 20th or whatever, 21st, when my Stadia controller turned up, 2 days late, Stadia, dead platform. In 2019, I fired up Destiny 2. Bearing in mind, I'd only played Destiny 2 on my Xbox One, 1080p, 30 frames per second. Fired it up on my Stadia, and I was blown away. And that was it. Game over from that point. 1080p, 60 frames per second. PUBG, compared to a PS4 or the Xbox version, PUBG is a potato game anyway, but the the Stadia version is miles better than the Xbox version. I used to have to wait for the background to render in. I used to land in a building before the building had rendered in on Xbox. That's what it was that was what it was like. It's not that, PUBG is not the best example because the game's pretty shonky, even though it's fun to play. But again, the experience is better than my Xbox One experience, and the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, so the last gen experience, is the common experience of gamers. Yeah, statistically speaking. So if you come to Stadia off the back of that, saying I can't afford to buy an Xbox Series X, or I can't afford to get the PlayStation 5, kid's on its way. I've had to convert the gaming room into a nursery. It happened to me 16 years ago. I had the OG Xbox, Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, and all rigged up in my gaming room with my CD player, my library of CDs. Then kids come along. Sorry, that's now your gaming room. Your office gaming room is now the nursery. Happy days. Anyway. Until you get a less powerful gaming rig. Exactly. I'm getting a new rig. Call it a rig, for my content creation. I'm worried about having to transfer all my files across so I could OBS and do this show and stuff like that and remember where all the blooming graphics are. Oh well. Last night I could have literally beat local. PC booted twice to install updates with no warning while I was trying to run my races in iRacing. Yeah, my Xbox used to crash on me as much as I might have an issue with Stadia sometimes in the middle of a game because my son's decided he wants to download the next update of Call of Duty, and suddenly my Stadia stream goes all funny, and I'm like, Oscar, sorry, Dad, sorry, I'll stop it, I'm playing. That happens now and then. But equally, when I used to play on the Xbox, it used to die on me. It used to overheat and die. Yeah, your kid is your main character. You're only the side quest NPC. Oh, tell me about it. I was about to go on live today, and my son, who's bored and hungry, saying, "Can you make me a pizza thing, Dad?" I'm about to do a live show because they're not normally here on a Monday night. I'm like, what? Oh, you're stressing me out. I need to be in the Zen mode for the show. My punters, the customers, the viewers like to see me in Zen. Anyway. Who's been on Metacritic and given the greatest game ever made an average score of... What? Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to do a video one day. A thesis. It's going to be a thesis video about how good a game Red Dead Redemption 2 is. A near perfect game will be my thesis. Not to mention xCloud and GFN do not scale higher on 1080p. No, exactly. You don't really get that on other cloud formats. So there we go. Always a risk. Exactly. Why do I never really got that argument, to be honest, Fino. You're quite right. You tend to have plenty of old games that you don't play again. I know plenty of people who bought a game on 4 different systems because they love it so much. If you really love it, that's what you're going to do. But generally, they can. But Oscar is 11, but it involved him taking something in and out of the oven. And I just know what he's like. Doesn't always use common sense. And there'd suddenly be a scream as he accidentally touched the wire rack or something. Family shares a great feature. Exactly. My son can play FIFA 21. The only game he plays on Stadia because FIFA 21 is cool now with his mates or with him. He's been watching YouTube videos. So when I told him he wanted, can you buy it for Xbox, Dad? I went, no, I've got it. Even though, of course, yeah, get it for EA Play, I think. Well, that's an older FIFA. But I said, no, I've already got it on Stadia. Play it on that. Happy as Larry. Happy as Larry. Always the trolls. Yeah, troll votes. Exactly. I'll be there with Red Dead Redemption 2. Don't worry. They were there before the project. Ah, that's why we need true Stadia reviews. That's what we need to see. Asian or fake or Arabic, I don't know. We'll have to check them out, Fino. Division 2 is one of the standout games. I think most people agree on Stadia. It's 4K, 60 frames per second. It looks beautiful. Cross-play with PC players. So the lobbies are always, with a good chance that the lobbies have a population in there. It's a great flagship title. Doom Eternal, great flagship title for twitchy first-person shooters. You can't play first-person shooters on cloud. It's too much. Check this out. Check out Doom Eternal. So some great examples. When I don't think people hate GFN. As I say, I recommended GFN to people who have a Steam library or love playing PC games or come from a PC gaming background. I think GFN is probably great for them. Their use case. Each platform has its user cases, as it were. So, there's no hate here for GFN. Just for a personal preference, for me, it's Stadia. So there we go. Exactly. Yeah, people love it, and they love it on the Shield and stuff like that. Absolutely. Just not my cup of tea. I'm just not. I don't know. It just doesn't ring my bell, baby. Doesn't ring my bell. Anyway, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's another show. Nothing major this week so far, but it's the start of the week. We've got a game released this week, as I say, Foreclosure. So looking forward to that. Definitely going to be buying that. Check that out, coming out on Thursday. Check out the blog post over the next week or so. Some interesting news and activity, I think, may be coming up. Can't say anything more than that. Hope I haven't given anything away. So check that out and have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Massive thank you for the super chats. Massive thank you for you being here live, partaking in the show and all of that. Tomb Raider, another great example. Always the choice of Linus Tech tips to show off how good a platform is or a PC is. So there we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying the show. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your games on Stadia or GFN or xCloud or PlayStation 5, wherever it is. Just have some fun. Enjoy your games. And I'll see you same time, same place next week. Have fun, everyone.